Hello everyone, my name is Jesus Crust and welcome to another gameplay commentary. If you are new to this channel, most of my commentaries aren't really based around video games, mostly it's based around news and current events and what I think about. But today it's actually going to be about the gameplay, or more or less Call of Duty in general. Now what I want to talk about today is what I'm going to title the video, Is Call of Duty Dying? Now, I've been playing Call of Duty since Black Ops, the first one. I bought Modern Warfare 2 after Black Ops came out so I could play it and check it out and have some fun with it. Now, I like Call of Duty. I have no problem with Call of Duty. I think it's a very fun game. I don't take it very seriously like a lot of people do. It's a casual shooter for me. I enjoy playing it. If I do well, I do well, and if I do bad, oh well, I brush it off my shoulders and I move on to the next game. And that's how I kind of play. And I found out that it works pretty well that way. Now, I've been noticing a lot of people posting YouTube videos saying Call of Duty's dying. Call of Duty Black Ops 2 is a trash game. Call of Duty 4 is where it's at. Modern Warfare 2 had the best hit detection. Black Ops 2 is garbage. Modern Warfare 3 was so much better. And I can't sit there and agree with everyone. I look at all these games and I think, everything's got to move forward, and I understand every new game's going to come out, it's going to have flaws. Nothing's always going to be exactly the same. Now, I went back and I played COD 4, and it's a fun game. And I went in the mindset of back when it was around. It was a fun game for its time. Now, I think if a COD 4 game came out with, nothing but amped up graphics, I don't really see it being a big success. And it's all about the numbers. You look at all the numbers and the sales rates and everything like that, and really the only people who complain about Call of Duty being dead or Call of Duty dying are the really hardcore gamers. And they have to understand Call of Duty's not about the hardcore gamers. It's not all about them. And that's what I try to explain to my friends who are really, hardcore into Call of Duty. That's their passion. That's what they play. It's all about Call of Duty. It's about getting 100 kills in a game. It's all about having really good kill to death ratios. Your win loss has to be higher than a 3 and all that. And it's Call of Duty in general, I guess I should say, is more or less an arcade shooter. It's not a serious war game like a lot of people try to make it out to be. It is an arcade shooter. It's, I believe, roughly based off the Quake engine, or one of the Quake engine variants. So, it's kind of an old engine. If I'm correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below. So it's gonna have its issues, it's gonna have its problems, and they have to take into consideration that more and more people, every time a new Call of Duty comes out, want to play it. They want to try to keep it from being stagnant, because personally, if they kept everything like Call of Duty 4, I would not be playing anymore. I would have stayed with Call of Duty 4. I wouldn't have stayed with anything else. Everything's different. Everything changes, whether it's for the better or for the worst. That's how it is, and it sucks. I know. Trust me. There's a lot of things in certain games that I play that I'm like, oh man, the first game was better. And how I always look at it is I think of it like movies or a book or whatever it may be. Oh, that first movie was amazing, and then the sequel comes out and you're like, I don't think that was that great. There was a couple flaws in it, but it was still a good movie. I'm glad I went and saw it on release night. Third movie comes out. This movie, oh god, I don't even know where they were going with this. This was just downright stupid. This was crap. And that's kind of what's going on with Call of Duty. And like I said, I like Call of Duty, and I have nothing wrong with Call of Duty. It's just, it's kind of past its prime. I feel like it needs, if it wants to stay relevant for the next game, it's really going to have to do something like game changer. And that's why I like Black Ops 2. Yeah, it's got flaws. Sometimes I know the connections don't work so right in the games. It's all about learning. It's all about they're trying to please the masses. And it's really hard to please the masses, especially when the hardcore gamers are the loudest voice there is. And in my opinion, from someone who's really not a hardcore gamer, I don't see the hardcore gaming scene as the number one voice that needs to be heard. Now, I understand, I will complain. The internet, the whole internet connection with the latency in this game does not work all the time, and it's pretty crappy. And I understand that, and that's something I definitely think needs to be fixed. And I don't understand why they went with that route. And I understand that's majority of the problems. And I understand across the board the connection is the biggest issue in Call of Duty. Now, but when you look at other things like attachments for guns, different game modes, stuff like that, it's an arcade shooter. That's what it is, and that's what it's always been. Call of Duty has always been an arcade shooter. If I try to explain to people without sounding like an asshole, but it's like if you want to play something that's a little less arcadey, Battlefield's right on the next shelf. It's right there. Go get it. Knock yourself out. It's. What do you want me to say about that? It's right there, and it's because we got so used to Call of Duty. Call of Duty is like the main thing that people want to play when they think of first-person shooters. You know, it used to be Halo. Halo was with, like, the original Xbox. You know, Halo was all about being the big FPS. And then the new consoles came out, and it's all about Call of Duty. And Halo kind of got pushed to second, but a close first. And I'm thinking with the new consoles that come out, that's what's going to happen again with Call of Duty. Call of Duty is still going to be, you know, one of the dominant games. But if the consoles come out, if it kind of wants to repeat itself, a new first-person shooter is going to kind of come out of the, you know, the abyss and kind of claim the throne of king of the first-person shooters. Because Call of Duty's been reign emperor pretty much of first-person shooters now for 10 years? Since pretty much Xbox Live has been around, Call of Duty's been around, and that's just kind of how it works. Now, I know that's a big issue, and I know it's a sour issue a lot of people don't like to talk about. They get really upset about it, but that's how I feel. I feel that Call of Duty's not dying. Call of Duty's evolving to please the masses, and you can't always please everyone. If 49% of people want something and 51% want the other, you gotta go with the 51%, and you're gonna have to suck it up and you have to deal with it. And that's kind of how it is. But that is the end of my commentary, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please subscribe and leave some feedback in the comments below. Cheeses out.